You are Locked On Dodgers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome into the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. I am Pete Fox, covering sports in LA dating back to 2007. This one looks to be in the books, although it says middle of the ninth, which is not exactly accurate. It's 11-4, so I figured we'd get the show on the road. Speaking of Shohei, continuing to just mash. Guy is red hot. Dave Roberts said, you can take a couple days off if you want, at least one. He said, no, thank you. I am playing, and I love that about Shohei Ohtani. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah, the right stay can make you a fan of any city, even your baseball rivals. Book today at Booking.com, the official accommodation partner of Major League Baseball. Get the Booking.com app today. Looks like 11-4 will be the final of this one. Win number 96 for the Dodgers. They did it offensively, home runs, the pitching, taped it together, if you will, trying to not burn up the bullpen, giving guys that don't get a lot of more innings, like Casparius. He went 4 1/3. Brazier started out. Joe Kelly, an inning and a third. Edgardo Henriquez, an inning and a third. And Daniel Hudson is in the ninth. I'm so confused about what the hell's going on. I just saw bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. Now it says bottom of the ninth, no outs. Is the game over yet? Can you guys tell me? Is the game over? I don't even know what the hell's going on. It looked like it was over. I walked out of the room where the TV was, and they were heading into the ninth. So I figured it would roll along fairly quickly. Both of these teams with nothing to play for. I think the fact that the Dodgers came into tonight and ran out most of their regulars is, a credit to their desire to stay hot and stay focused. As I said, Ohtani's going to play the whole series. Mookie Betts had 3 at-bats. Freddie, obviously, out, banged up a little bit. Was it a foot or an ankle or something in that finale against the Padres? So we won't see him until October 5th. Kiermaier had a nice day with a couple of hits. Gavin Lux played. Teo played, had a home run. Tommy Edman played, went 0 for 4. Kike started at first. Pages a home run. Chris Taylor 2 for 5, and Austin Barnes behind the plate. So Will Smith had the day off. Not surprising. So that's I said coming into this, I was be curious to see what they threw out there. But this is fairly normal. This is not too different from what we see from the Dodgers on a nightly basis. Of course, now after the clinch yesterday against the Padres, the celebration, which was fantastic. I always love watching that. My favorite part, I don't know if you guys watched it after we got done here, was my buddy Dave Vassay, who's one of the Dodger sideline guys, reporters, etc. He was down there talking to Lux at first, who was smoking a cigar, and then Max Muncy walks up. And Max Muncy looks at Vassay and says, "How are you so dry?" And I know I've talked about being in those clubhouse celebrations after a victory, a clinch or whatever it is, on to the next round of the postseason. And even if you're not celebrating, because we're there just working, but you can't help getting caught up in the spray. You're getting shrapnel from everywhere because everybody's spraying everybody all the time. So it doesn't matter where you are, you're getting wet. Like Kirsten Watson? She was drenched. Everybody was drenched except for David Vassay. And Max Muncy goes, "How are you so dry?" And then at the end of the quick little interview where Muncy jumped in, he goes, "How are you so effing dry? I don't understand." Which is a very, very big mystery for the Dodgers, especially for David Vassay. I guess he has cat-like reflexes to avoid the spray of the beer and the champagne. I don't know, but it is very remarkable. I've had people say to me, you better not get pulled over on your way home because they'll think you've been drinking because you smell like champagne or beer or whatever, which is, by the way, if you've ever, like I've mentioned, it's fun and messy all at the same time. But if you've been sprayed with beer or champagne, it is an awful smell. That clubhouse just reeks. I have to assume, I was talking about this with a buddy the other day, that they rip up that carpet after a celebration. I don't see, unless they bring in like industrial strength carpet cleaners and just suck up all the liquid like later that night or early the next morning. I mean, there's literally 2 to 3 inches of liquid on the ground. It is not just damp. It's like a pool of liquid. They spray so much alcohol that it's everywhere. So I don't know what they do with the carpet. They put plastic over the locker so the clothes don't get wet, but the carpet and the furniture all gets drenched. I don't know how they handle it. I really don't. So now that the celebration for winning I guess they're still playing. Now there's 2 outs officially. So I don't know what I saw, but it was inaccurate. Still 11-4 Dodgers. Now that the celebration is in the books for clinching, and we just wait to see if the Dodgers are the 1 or the 2 seed. This will be the 96th win of the season. As I said yesterday, I would prefer the 2 seed because that would mean either Milwaukee or the Mets / Braves, maybe even the Diamondbacks. The Padres are more than likely going to lock up that top wild card position. Let's see how they are doing tonight. They're up 5-2 on the Diamondbacks in the 5th. Brewers are leading the Mets and the Braves. So Philly lost. So that's good for the Dodgers in that 1 seed category. If that's what you're into, if that's what you're excited about. I feel like, again, I looked at this early in the week and so much has changed that, we just don't know what's going to happen or where they're going to land or what it all means. How are the Braves not playing on a Friday night? That's weird. Oh yeah, they did play. They played and beat the Royals. So that means that they're making an effort, a run at getting that 3rd wild card. If the Mets are losing, let's see where it shakes down at this point. Padres still playing. They're up 3. Mets are losing, tied with the Diamondbacks who are losing, and the Braves are a half game back who have already won. So the Braves could move up into that 2nd wild card position tonight. Absolutely insane the way this thing is shifting and moving around. Rockies have runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 out. Oh no. What if they rally? Oh, I hate to mock that because what if they do? That would be awful. The thing I wanted to get into a little bit tonight with your help potentially is what the postseason roster is going to look like, because they got to make some cuts. I thought they put it up to 30 at the end of the regular season, but it's only 28. And then they have to get it down to 26. So normal amount of pitchers, I guess, is 11, 12, maybe. Max is 13. I don't know how you do that. I don't know. With 26 total, if you don't have any backup infielders or backup outfielders, I don't know how you would do 13. So I'm assuming the number's probably 11 at the most. I've got 16 guys that are locks. There's no question that these guys will be on the roster. Make it 19 actually with the 3 starting pitchers. So I want to bounce around some of the other names that we think might be on this postseason roster. We got a final here. 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. They finished it off 11-4. The Dodgers win their 96th win of the year. I'm Pete Fox. Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. The place to hang out when every game is done. You can also listen wherever you find your podcast on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. That's where you find Jeff and Vince doing the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast. Your first listen, Locked On, your team every day. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast is brought to you by Booking.com, Booking.yeah. Explore those U.S. cities you've always secretly wanted to learn a little bit more about. even though it's the home of your rival. Hotels, beds and breakfasts, vacation rentals, resorts, and so much more on Booking.com. You might just find your perfect stay even in your baseball rival city this postseason. There is a very good possibility the Dodgers could run into the Padres again. More than likely, it will be in LA to start. Not more than likely, it will be in LA to start, but there is a possibility that there could be a game in San Diego, and there are awesome hotels overlooking Petco. That's a fun time to go to a baseball game at Petco in the Gaslamp. So check out San Diego potentially, or whoever is a rival to your team. If you are not a Dodger fan, for example, or let's say you are a Padre fan and you're going to plan on coming to LA. Well, use Booking.com to find your stay. With Booking.com, there is a wide variety of choices across the U.S. You can incognito to all your baseball rivals' city. Booking.com can help you book a stay that's close to your home teams or your rivals' stadium. No matter what team you are rooting for this postseason, Booking.com can make you a fan of any U.S. city. And going to see postseason baseball for a little getaway, a little vacay is awesome. From hotels that overlook stadiums to family-friendly resorts to cute bed and breakfasts, Booking.com has so many choices across the U.S. The right stay can make you a fan of any U.S. city, even your baseball rivals. Booking.com, booking.yeah. Dodgers finish off the Rockies 11-4. Comfortable win. Didn't have a starter in. They did an opener thing. I like to see that Casparius got out there for 4 1/3. Stretching him out is nice to know that he's capable of doing that. 85 pitches, 7 Ks. He looked really, really good. So he's one of these guys that I believe should be on the postseason roster as a Dodger bullpen hand, but I don't know that he's going to make it. Brazier started, gave up 1 run on 1 hit, but struck out 2. Joe Kelly, an inning and a third, 1 K, the rest zeros. Edgardo Enriquez, an inning and a third, all ones across his line except the home run. Gave up a hit, a run, an earned run, a walk, and a strikeout. Another guy that you have to question and wonder, is that guy going to be on the postseason roster? I don't know. If I had to choose between him and Casparius, knowing what we know now, that this guy can throw multiple innings, that I'd more than likely lean towards Casparius. Enriquez is just a little too young at this point. Moved up from single A this year. Clayton Kershaw, another question mark. So that's one that's hanging out there. Landon Knack, is he the 4th one? If Landon Knack and Clayton Kershaw are healthy, does one of them not make the postseason roster? Here's what I got so far. Obviously, Shohei Ohtani, number 1. Then we go behind the plate. The catchers are locked in. Smith and Barnes. The outfield is locked in. Teo, Mookie, and Edman. Probably Pages. Then the infield, pretty locked in. Freddie, Lux, Miggy, Max, and Kike. Kike is making this roster. There's no doubt about it. So that is, if you put Pages in there, that is 16 guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry, 12 guys. And then Yamamoto, Flaherty, and Walker. That makes 15. All right. So we've got 26 total. So we have 11 more spots to fill. Chris Taylor, I know most of you are going to say nay. So because that takes up a pitching spot. I mean, do they want 10? What about Kiermaier? They went out and got Kiermaier, and I have a feeling because he's a veteran, they want to keep him around, and he's a good outfielder. And I feel like maybe there was some deals being made or, some promises made to his agent. I don't know. Maybe not. If it were me, I'm like, no, I don't keep him around. Chris Taylor's a tough one. When you got Kike, who is, super versatile. I don't know that you need Edmonds versatile. I don't know that you need Taylor. So we got, I like Brazier, Joe Kelly, maybe. Kopech, of course, locked. Vesia, Trinan. So some of the questions are around guys like Bonda. Anthony Bonda. Is he on? Probably, because he's a lefty. So that leaves us with the starters that are locked in: Yamamoto, Flaherty, and Walker. That's 15. So then Brazier probably in there, 16. Daniel Hudson is another question mark. Kopech, 17. Evan Phillips, 18. Blake Trinan, 19. Vesia, 20. So now we got 6 more. Landon Knack, 21. They probably keep Hudson, 22. Maybe it's not that hard. Casparius, 23. So that could leave us with Chris Taylor and Kiermaier on there. And really, you're not losing, Joe Kelly, 24, and then Taylor and Kiermaier, 25, 26. Am I missing anybody? Am I overlooking somebody that you think should be there that is not? Nando says Honeywell. He's not even on the team right now, which is surprising. He's been good, but I feel like he's just been like a stopgap for them. When they're getting beat or the bullpen's tired, just run him out there. We don't need to burn up any more arms. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be, there's going to be there's always at least one guy that you're like, why isn't this guy on the team? So I'm sure we'll have to deal with that again. But as far as the bullpen, I think that they're going to need 5 to lean on. Those 5 to me are Bonda, Brazier, Phillips, Trinan, and Kopech. Those are the 5 that you're going to need to give the ball to. Vesia, maybe Vesia in front of 6. Vesia in front of Bonda. I like him better. So, of course, Trinan will be there. Joe Kelly's a question mark. I know that they like him, and he's been pretty good of late. So I feel like he'll be there. Took him out early tonight, so he didn't throw too many pitches. They didn't want to wear him out because he's only good for about 20 to 25 max. I think he threw 17 tonight. So let's get to the Diamond Dogs list filled with home runs. Number 5, Teoscar homered in the first with Lux aboard. His 32nd ties a career high for him. That was nice to see. Up and in and yanked it down the left field line. Chris Taylor, an RBI single in the second. He had 2 hits on the day. That was also nice to see, helping his cause to be on the postseason roster. I feel like he definitely provides a lot of options for the Dodgers and can get clutch hits, even though he started the season very, 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 very badly, and his average is still below 200. That is largely based on the start of the season. He's been pretty good of late. Andy Pages, another home run. Back-to-back games, back-to-back jacks for Andy Pages. That came in the 4th inning, 433 feet. Another up and in ball that he launched, his 13th of the season. It was a solo shot. It made it 5-1 for number 2. Shohei Ohtani, up and in. The Rockies were not paying attention there. The Dodgers can hit up and in pitches, whether they're fastballs or off speed. It doesn't matter much. Dodgers like hitting the ball up and in. Number 54 for Shohei Ohtani with 2 aboard. That made it 9-2. Shohei, 54 home runs and 57 stolen bases. And more importantly, the average, as Craig pointed out here, only 3 points away from the batting title. He's at 309, and the Padres guy is at 312. So he's hanging on, and it's been a remarkable rise for Shohei with the average. Just 9 days ago, his batting average was right around 285. So for him to go from 285 to 309, he is blistering hot right now. And number 1, Shohei Ohtani, a double in the 8th, his 38th double of the season, which means 2 more, and he'd be in another rare club, the 40-40-40 club. Don't ask me who else is in that club, but that would add to his credentials for a remarkable season. Dodgers win number 96, 11-4 over the Rockies in Colorado. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. You make Jeff and Vince your Locked On Dodgers podcast first listen, and then you come here and join me after the game as your second listen, and we appreciate you allowing us to be your source for your team every day. All right, tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast also brought to you by Robin Hood Gold. Where is the thingamajigger? There it is. With Robinhood Gold, you don't need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Robinhood Gold allows others to get the rates and perks usually reserved for high society. Now, the resourceful individual with Robinhood Gold can earn the liberal rate of 4.5% APY and on uninvested cash. Receive that's huge. That's basically like savings. 4.5% is solid numbers. Receive unlimited 1% deposit bonuses, which is free money, and rewarded with a handsome 3% retirement boost on an IRA account. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of the high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for only $5 a month. The new gold standard is here, Robinhood Gold. Sign up today at robinhood.com/gold. Terms apply. For product-specific disclosure, visit robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates may change. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold, LLC. Tonight's episode also brought to you by Prize Picks, prizepicks.com. They are the largest DFS sports app in America with over 5 million active members. It's just you against the numbers. You don't have to play against other dudes or ladies. It's just you against the numbers. You pick more or less on 2 to 6 players and their stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Time's running out on this Caleb Williams freebie. 1 Caleb Williams passing yard will get you 1 win on Prize Picks every week in September. That's right. Only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. I'm using it again for this Sunday. Got to get back on track. I have not been going well of late. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. If you pick those red goblins, I like the green goblin. I'm sorry, red demons. The green goblins pay a little bit less, but they're a little bit easier to hit. Nonetheless, it's all fun and entertaining. Prize Picks puts their members first. So with withdrawals being very fast, safe, and secure, and the deposits are also super hassle-free, very easy process. When you make your picks and you hit it, you can get your money in as quick as 15 minutes. That is awesome. Players and stat types that are available for you are numerous. There's so many options. I was surprised that there wasn't President's Cup action on there today. That's what I was looking for. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code LOCKEDONMLB and get $50 instantly when you play just 5. That's Locked On MLB on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play just 5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, run your game. All right, Dodgers an 11-4 win, beating the Rockies in Colorado as we expected they would. 2 more to go. Shohei's going to play in both of them to continue to rack up numbers. 54 home runs. He could get a couple more, maybe 3 if he goes off again, like he did not too long ago. 3 home runs in 1 game. I wouldn't be surprised to see that in Colorado at all, especially if they keep throwing him balls up and in. That's where he likes it. That is one of his hot spots for sure. Ben Casparius got the win. He's 2-0. He went 4 1/3, gave up 1 run on 6 hits. So that's where you say scattered 6 hits, struck out 7 and walked 2. A really, really nice performance from Ben Casparius. So hopefully he stays around. Hopefully we see him on the postseason roster. I don't know. It is hard to see. Let's take a look at the scoreboard and see where we are, because that's what the Dodgers do this time of year. Scoreboard watch. I like the fact that really these last 3 games don't mean much, but they're continuing to play. 5-2 Padres over the Diamondbacks in Arizona still. So let's hope the Diamondbacks can come back and make that interesting. I don't know why I would rather have the Diamondbacks win that game and that series over the Padres. I don't know. I'm just not a Padre fan. Could I say that? Not necessarily hate the Padres, but I don't want them to go into the postseason red hot. That's what I'm hoping, that they go into the postseason on a down turn after losing 2 of 3 to the Dodgers. Hopefully they drop 2 of 3 in Arizona and they're scuffling a bit going into the postseason. That's what I would like to see. Because honestly, right now in the National League West, I know we should be scared of everybody, but I'm most scared of the Padres because they've been the best team in baseball since the All-Star break. The Detroit Tigers have gotten red hot, but that's not all the way back to the All-Star break. The Padres have been the best team in baseball with regard to wins and hitting and all of that stuff since the All-Star break. And the hitting is something they've been doing all year, getting on base, and they just have a tough lineup. And I really keeping my fingers crossed that we do not have to face them in the postseason. That would not be a selection or a choice that I would make. Brewers, Mets, Braves, Diamondbacks. Obviously, they wouldn't meet the Phillies first round. That would be in the NLCS. That would be a heck of a matchup, and someone else that would scare the Dodgers because they took care of the Dodgers this regular season, and it was not pretty. It was ugly and not close. They just beat the Dodgers up and down in Philadelphia in that 4-game series. So let's hope that by the time we reach the NLCS, that the Phillies have started to struggle and the Dodgers have just continued to get even hotter. Excuse me. So I think that's about all we have for tonight. Again, Padres leading the Diamondbacks. The Mets have won already. The Mets lost. Brewers beat them. Braves have won already. And those are the only teams that are still fighting for slots in the postseason in the National League. We don't worry about the American League until much later on. Dodgers will open the NLDS on October 5th at the Ravine. So we'll play 2 more games here and then have the week off, basically, and get ready for October 5th. Here's what they said is going to be the schedule for this week. Everybody but Jack Flaherty is off Monday. He's going to come in and throw to some minor leaguers. Tuesday is a day of rest for everybody. And then on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they're going to hit it hard. I don't know what that means. I wish they would have given us a little bit more info of what hit it hard means. Get after it. Are they going to play sim games? Are they going to take BP? But the I feel like a fly just went in my mouth. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Damn, that's awful. Anyway, let's wrap it up. Again, don't know what they're going to be doing next week, but hopefully it is something that will help them keep their intensity as high as possible heading into game 1 of that NLDS. Thanks for joining me. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. Off tomorrow because I have Trojans, and then we'll wrap it up with a crossover on Sunday. I know I told you we were going to do one tonight, but Anilo got tickets to the game, so decided to go do that as opposed to sitting here and looking at me, which I would have done as well. So we'll do a crossover to wrap up the series on Sunday. So join us for that. And again, I'll do Trojans Postcast tomorrow on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. They'll be taking on Wisconsin for a 12:30 kick. Have a good night. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk tomorrow for the Trojans and then again on Sunday, right after the finale of the regular season for the Dodgers as they wrap things up in Denver against the Rockies. Have a good night. Talk to you tomorrow.